This is KRC Kitengela, the church to belong, where everybody is somebody.
Welcome back, our viewers. We want to trust that you are well. We want to believe that we have been a blessing to you, because we are not just here for our own self. We are here so that we may encourage you as a young one, we may encourage you as a parent, that it is very much possible to create a harmonious relationship with your children right there at home. And especially during this time of COVID-19, we are aware that everybody is at home, and there's no doubt, even the young ones are at home. They are not at school, they are not at primary, high school, university. All students are at home. And maybe you are going through a hard time. You don't know how to relate with the young ones, especially, or rather with your parents, especially now that you are at home. We want to believe that this debate, this conversation is here to be a blessing to you and to encourage you, and also to make you realize, in maybe by a point or two, by which way should you change for the better. So God bless you for keeping it there. So I want to go back to Joanne, and I would want you to share with us and tell us, do you think language has been an issue, has not brought a harmonious relationship with your parents? Maybe the language, the way you talk. Do you think at some point there is something that you communicate to your parents and they are not understanding, and especially these times that you have the language called Sheng? Do you think that one has brought in disharmony?
For me, I have not had a place where I know how to express myself. So language has not been a barrier, according to me, how to express myself. I can't talk to my parents in Sheng, and I know they don't know what it means. So I have to communicate to them with what language they understand.
Yes.
Yeah, so language has not been a barrier for me. Yeah.
And maybe you can talk to a youth out there who thinks that maybe my parents don't understand me. They really don't understand my language. Maybe some talk with Sheng that maybe the parents cannot understand, or maybe some are rude. Yes, you are using English, you are using Swahili or your mother language, your mother tongue, but maybe the way you are talking, the way you are speaking to them really doesn't show some respect. You can talk to a youth out there and tell them something. What should they do?
I have been in that place where my parents started telling me, venye unaongea siku hizi, hapana, kuna kitu. They started telling me I've become a different person with the way I'm expressing myself. See, to me, the right tone.
Yeah.
So when a parent tells you that, please try and correct it, because they'll be bringing up that issue in every situation. Kwa sababu wanakasirika kila saa mkiongea. So mzazi akikwambia, yes, najua utakasirika kwa sababu sasa huyu ananiambia nini.
Yes.
Na mimi hivi ndio unajua, most of us, like the way we communicate with our fellow colleagues and youth, sometimes we happen to transfer it to how we communicate it with our parents, and that's not good. So when our parents reach to a point anakuambia, ujue amegoja akaona kama utabadilika na ubadiliki. So when your parent tells you, hey, ito nitabidi umebadilisha, juu lazima tukucorrect. Just try as much as possible to change your tone, because sasa zenye hamko na harmony na parents wako, nakwambia una feeling not at peace, especially if you live together. You are never at peace. Wakifika unataka kuingia room nyingine,
ujifiche,
kwa sababu utaki kuzozana, umezozana utaki, and hata utakosa utakuwa na sleepless nights. Kwa sababu you'll have the guilt, I have offended my parents. So I would like to urge us as youth, let us know the language to use with our parents and other people who are more wise than us and grown ups. Because there is no way we are going to be in the same level. We have to learn how to respect each other. Yes.
Wow, that's a good piece of advice to the young ones. And now, Professor, I want to bring you in here. And because sometimes, as the parents, we feel ourselves up there, and we feel the young ones down there. How do we bridge the gap? The existing gap, especially the generational one. How do we bridge the gap? Professor, come in.
Thank you, Pastor. That's very central to what we are talking about today. Generational gap, per se, is captured by Winston Churchill. And he says, mountains are created and were created at different times. They do not anchor on the same structure. All right? So that interprets to a generation of youth and a generation of the parents. These are two groups of people, human beings, intelligent human beings, creations of God, but there is some difference in the years, in the way they look at things, in opinions, in the shaping political structure, the social upbringing, and so forth and so forth, such that even if you wanted to bring those two mountains together, as Winston Churchill puts it, it is not possible because they are not made of the same structure. So generational gap is actually a difference in terms of the way we look at things, simply because we were born in different years. Yeah.
And now, Professor, just on that point,
Yes.
there is a parent there who keeps on telling the young ones, you know, when I was a teenager, I did not do like you are doing. You know, when I was a teenager, I decided to do this. When I was a teenager, I never asked for a phone. When I was in high school, I did do this and this. Can you talk to that kind of a parent? What should they do? Because they have the teenagers, they have the young ones with them. But now, you know, trying to compare the gap. Can you talk to such kind of a parent, Professor?
Thank you, Pastor. Now, that's very important because every parent has got their child at whatever age.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter to your parent. It doesn't matter whether you are 50 or you are 20 or you are 10. To the parent, every person is a child. Now, every parent wants to be the child to be in their shoes, and that is absolutely impossible because this is your child, this is your daughter, this is your son, but they are made of different fabric. They are made of different bricks. So if you want them to be you, you are cheating yourself, you are putting yourself in disillusionment, and you should come to earth and realize that that's a different person. So when you treat your child, say for example, I'll quote because I'm a scholar. Most of my students tell me that, you know, Professor, actually, my dad wanted me to be what they are not. Because the father wanted to be a doctor. They said, now be a doctor. So they want you to be what your mother, your mother, the mother wanted to be somebody else, actually a nurse, a senior nurse with a bachelor's degree. So that is you. But your daughter is a completely different person. They want to be an engineer. They want to be something else. They want to be a pilot. They want to become something different. In other words, what they are made of is what they are. So don't force them to be what they are not, because even if you try to, you are wasting your time because you will not be able to construct that structure. You are unable. That structure is only created by God himself. The creator of the person is the one who has got the ingredients of the person, the abilities, what they can do and what they cannot do. So if you try to make them what you want them to be, you will be a failure. And in fact, as Pastor Lucy said, instead of building that person to be what you want them to be, you are actually pulling them down, because you lower their self-esteem, you lower their ability to grasp things the way they want to. You actually bring them down, and they cease to see you as the role model. They start seeing you as somebody, as a pusher. You're trying to push them to things that they are not supposed to be in. Forget it.
Wow, that is so great. Joan, back to you. So far, you said you are in university doing economics.
Human resources.
Human resource. Okay, great. And that's very great of you. Were you pushed into it, or did you make, personal decision? Did you really wanted to do it your own, or were you pushed, or were you advised to do it? Kindly share your thoughts with us.
I wasn't pushed to do what I'm doing. But after I finished high school, there was a lot of suggestions on me doing nursing, teaching, those kinds of careers and courses. And me, I was not willing to do that. They tried a lot on convincing, but I remember there's a time when I was doing my computer, the computer studies. Hey, me, I came home, me, I told I sat down with my dad and I told him, me, I don't feel like I want to do nursing and teaching. I told them to give me time so that I can choose. Because previously when I was in high school, and this is a problem, why the reason as to why parents are suggesting for us what to do, it's because after you clear high school, you had what you wanted to be in high school. Then after the results, everything becomes disoriented. So they feel like they want to help you to to make a choice on a course. Previously, me, I wanted to do law, but I couldn't do it. So so that's why they started telling me you could do a nursing, you could do teaching, because these are more professional courses. But I thank God that they heard my plea, and when I chose the course I wanted to do, they supported me till now.
Wow, that's so great, and it's so wonderful to have parents of that kind. We should allow our kids, let them be, let them be, though you really need to guide them as their parents. Joanne, I want you to think about a question or two that you have to our resident panelists, but as you think, I want to bring in Pastor Lucy to give an overview, a spiritual, what are your spiritual view? What's the way forward now?
Thank you, Pastor Edith. Number one, I would like to highlight on how to improve that parent and youth relationship, because it is very important to know how do I go about it. Things are not right as we talk right now. There is disharmony. Remember, when there is disharmony, there is no growth, there is no peace, as we have highlighted. So things cannot work well. You cannot move on. You cannot cooperate. Things are in tatters. So we need to mend up, like Professor said. We need to mend up. We need to know how do we go about it with this young person in the house, and I'm the parent. Number one, I want to give around 7 or 8 tips. Tip number one, remember that you are the parent. That is it was also said by the professor. Don't ever forget you are the parent. So you remain there on that position, and the child remains the child. And the child, you cannot change those positions, or they cannot be vice versa. Number two, remain calm in the winds of change. Remember, winds of change will be there with these young people. So as a parent, it is very important to give them room and remain calm. Number three, talk less and listen more. You need to talk less. Don't talk. You are screaming. You are talking back to them. It is very important. When you listen more, you learn so much. But most of us parents, at times, we talk too much. We don't give them a chance even to express themselves. When you listen to our young people, you will learn so much. You will know something you would not have known. You will know them even when they get even into maybe they have gotten into a drug, in a character that is not so becoming. So you can know by just listening more, to give them room to talk. Listen more, but talk less. The other one is respect boundaries, and I said it again here. Respect boundaries. Respect that one touches so much on them. When you don't respect their boundaries, no, that's where harmony just gets wings and flies out. So respect their boundaries. They are young people. Respect. They are soon becoming adults. Respect their boundaries. It goes a long way in bringing harmony. The other one is remember, they are always watching. They are always watching at you. The way you do things. Remember, they are always watching, and there will be a replica of you. The other one is, remember, and I said it again here, make your expectations clear. Don't just tell them, do this and do this. I expect this. I give deadlines. Give them expectations and make them clear. The other one is be real. Let me go to this as the last one. Be real. You cannot afford to be anything as a parent. Be real. Don't be a copycat. Be real to them. When they see that, that's what they'll become.
Yeah.
And it is very important.
Wow.
Pastor, just to add on to what Pastor Lucy is talking about.
Go ahead.
I want to address my fellow parents out there. If you don't want to die young, if you want to stay alive, please remember that your child or the youth is not you. The best thing you can do, this is by way of creating an environment where the way forward. The best thing you can do is, you may not, I'm not telling you to be a friend of your youth, your daughter or your son, but make an effort. Make sure that there's some degree of friendship between you and the youth. Because when you create an environment of friendship, you start creating, you actually start creating openness. You close that gap, that gap which is existing between you and the youthful person. And once you try to close the gap, then you can reach each other.
Yes.
And when you cannot reach each other, that's when you call upon God, because we are talking about the spiritual supreme. You call upon God. But before you do that, take the first step. Make sure that you create that element of being there for the person when they are also trying to be there for you. Bring them together. You'll be able to move forward.
Win them, actually.
Wow,
Yes.
that's so powerful.
Yes,
Joan, I come back to you. Do you have any question? Do you have any comment? Is there anything you'd want to know from our resident panelists?
So there's a lot of issues with youth. So we used to have conversations. I remember one day we had no person to give a sermon. We prayed, and then we started talking. And we started having a very heated conversation about being in a relationship.
With your fellow colleague?
Now with your opposite
Oh,
sex.
okay. Go ahead.
And there was a lot of feelings emerging from that. Others were saying that my parents says you should never be in a relationship until you are a certain age. And now, then she said, if that is even applicable, because she believes that when she's in that age, at the working class, she won't have time to meet people. And then after she chelewas, they'll start asking her, sasa umechelewa utaleta mtu lini? Sasa utaleta mtu lini? So, and then she was saying, to revenge, she will have mutu, but atakawa muulize hadi wachoke. Ndio alete mtu nyumbani.
Na finally hata ataweza leta choice wa parent wake, not his or her own choice.
So should people date? Because we are dating. We can't run away from the fact that we are dating. We are dating different people, but you can never share with your parents. Unaweza kufa tu na mashida zako, stress
za relationships.
Upate mama yako na kuongelesha, unashindwa huyu ananiongelesha. Sasa hapo ndio mtafight, mtakuwa na conflict kwa sababu labda umekuwa heartbroken, and then she comes because she does not get where this is coming from. She comes and
ama anakuambia Shiro nataki kukuona na mtu fulani.
That girl told me that she almost ended up in depression because she got heartbroken, and then you cannot share with your mom. Hey, if you share with your mom ni kiboko,
itakuwa issue, itakuwa story nyingine.
Ama atakuwa anashinda akishuku, atakuwa anasema leo umekuja late kwa sababu
ulikuwa na nani. Wow, Professor, I want to bring you in a minute. Though I know relationship, it's a wide topic. I know we shall have a date. We promise we shall make a show. You know, just to elaborate that and bring the young ones and we talk deeper about it. But in a minute, because of time, maybe you can try answer her question. She really needs to know
when is the right time.
Yes, when is the right time? How? You know, with who? Professor, speak as a parent now.
Great. That is very central. Joanne is bringing up a very important question. And she's asking a very simple question. Should a young person, a young girl, or a young man, like her, like Joanne, are they really allowed to be in a relationship? Now, let me bring in now scholars here, because this is a scholarly kind of situation. Now, research has been done. by many researchers. But there has not been any agreement as to whether a young person should have a relationship. If it's a girl, the man with a young man. If it's a man with a young girl. But Joan has actually even answered the question from a youth point of view. She said, now there's got to be some kind of understanding between the parents and the youth. Because many researchers say if a young person that is not involved in a relationship, the day they will, it will be a very terrible one. Others say, no, it will not happen. They should wait until that time. So there is no agreement. So where is the agreement supposed to be? The agreement is supposed to be at the home front. Let me tell you, the truth is the agreement is supposed to be in a home front. Wow. Let me tell you my personal views, very, very comfortably. I can tell you, if you leave a vacuum, if you leave a person without that kind of preoccupation, then you are putting them into a lot of trouble. So what you need to do, young people need a guided movement.
True.
And that guided movement only comes in if they are relating with their parents. And there's got to be a relationship with the parent first.
Wow, that's so great. I would want Joanne. Have you ever had a harmonious relationship with your parents, maybe simply because you had a relationship that didn't please them, either yes or no?
No.
No. Wow.
Good.
So, Pastor Lucy, Milo, parting shots, even as we wind up. Time is really gone. So, Pastor Lucy, your parting shots.
Thank you again. My parting shot is we need to create harmony at home. I said the other day that in the family unit, it's where you expect comfort, you expect love, you expect unity, you expect all the good things.
Yeah.
So we need to build families that are intertwined, that the people are together. They're inseparable. They remain together. They think the same way. They go the same way. And this can bring a very good product when we go that way. Therefore, harmony is very important. It needs to be cultivated. The Bible talks in the book in the book of Psalm 133. The Bible talks about unity. And the Bible says that God commands a blessing thereof. Therefore, we need to work for our families. We need to cultivate together. Where there is a loop of disharmony, we need to mend up. We need to come together, realize it very fast, and mend it immediately so that we can move on because we cannot do without God's blessings in our families.
Wow, great and so good points. So inspiring. God bless you, Pastor Lucy. Professor, your parting shots.
My parting shot is simply godly and partly natural. In Malachi, God is very clear. God hates divorce.
Yes.
And divorce means disharmony,
Yes.
disagreement, or an environment which is not conducive for human beings to live together. Now, from a natural point of view, if you don't want to die young,
Yes.
if you don't want to split your head, if you don't want to split your heart, then it is incumbent on you as a person, whether young or old. Try to create harmony, first with yourself,
Exactly.
second with the person who is nearest to you, as St. Teresa has just told us from that quotation, and thirdly with the rest of the community. Because once you create peace in yourself, and you create peace within the family, and you create peace within the environment in which you are, then you are creating an environment conducive for yourself, and it's pleasing to God, and it makes you live long.
Wow,
Amen.
that's so great. I believe that you have been blessed, our viewers. God bless you so much for keeping it there. I believe this discussion was meant for somebody. If not 100, then 50. If not 50, then 20. And changing a life, we don't take it for granted. I believe and I hope and I trust God that you have been blessed. Even as we are winding it up, I want to come back to Joanne. I have a quiz challenge to you. And last week, we had youths like you. And some really spoke out what they desire from their parents. Some said attention, some said love, some said respect, some said understanding. What about you?
Trust.
Wow, trust.
Hallelujah.
Just trust.
That's a good
She
one.
really would want to be trusted by the parents. And I believe they are watching us. They are a blessing. They are the servants of God, and we want to appreciate them for taking good care of you and for bringing you up. It's not just in vain. So God bless you. Keep it there. Kenya Redeemed Church Kitengela. I believe that you have subscribed even to our YouTube channel, Kenya Redeemed Church Kitengela. Keep it there. Until our next show, we want to say goodbye. God bless you. And shalom, shalom, shalom. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ
And the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Blessings,
Amen.
blessings, blessings to you, our viewers.
This is KRC Kitengela, the church to belong, where everybody is somebody.